Tune in, turn up, the clock's ticking fast. Crypto secrets from the future and past. Magic got the spark, Dave's got the flow. Right in the blockchain, wherever it goes. The Crypto Magic Hour, feel the power. Counting coins as we print every hour. VV Magic, Dave's on the scene. Crypto dreams in a digital gleam. Oh yeah, the Crypto Magic Hour.
What up? Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Magic Hour. You know what I just realized also, as I learned something new every time in our intro, and this time was when you pay attention to like the crypto, like, you know, the symbols that are going by, they say BTG instead of BTC. Yeah. So for anybody that bought BTG, if you bought BTG off the intro, NFA, not financial advice, DYOR, and all that fun shit. Yeah, all that good shit. But guys, real quick before we go to these crazy two, I just want to say we had a last minute switch up. You know, the powers that be essentially notified us and set. No, I'm just kidding. Essentially, just in order for Magic, obviously, not to be in a really compromising position, because when a company goes public, obviously, if you are employed by said company, you shouldn't even be really talking about any of that stuff. So she said, "Would you like to kick me off the show today?" I said, "Absolutely. Let me just run the show myself." But Omi-Wan overruled me. Omi-Wan overruled me and said, "Nah, let's just switch it up and talk about Pikachu." So I was like, "All right, cool." So we're gonna talk about Pikachu. But
that being said, like you put out a good article and you hosted a space with lots of speakers talking about it, and I think all that is super awesome. And I think there's a lot of people out there that want more information about this whole thing. So, like, by all means, people, please keep talking about it. Feel free. I'm just gonna sit out.
She's doing the Homer, just like falling back into the bushes.
I appreciate you guys switching it up, though. Sorry about that.
Nah, all good. How do we have 3 people watching with like 10 people in the chat? What's going on? Does this make any sense? The 3 of them are us. It's not even the people in the chat. Nice. All right, we are crushing it today. The counter might be wrong, but anyways, here we are. But yeah, guys, welcome to Magic Hour. I feel like we're gonna talk about Pikachu and the insanity that happened last night at Goldin auctions. For those that didn't pay attention, I think Pikachu went for like 16. It was the highest recorded trading card sale ever, let alone like Pokemon. Logan Paul obviously did a whole thing about this. It was all this fanfare around it. He had the blinged out illustrator, right? If you guys remember, it was a little Pokeball, blinged out diamonds, bezels, the whole nine. And it was $16.4 million when it was all said and done. So I figured we kind of maybe just break that down today. But give me your initial reactions to like this shit, guys. Like, Magic, what do you think?
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
16 million.
That's just crazy.
That's some expendable income someone has.
I mean,
so Scaramucci. So it was Scaramucci's son. For those who don't know who Anthony Scaramucci is, he was in Trump's White House back in 2016. Heavy, like big smart money guy on Wall Street. So they have money, and the guy says he's going to start a website called trovemarket.com. And this is going to kind of be like the pinnacle of kind of like this website where it's going to document like the collecting journey. Shout out to the Collectors Hub, like people's collecting journeys and like the grails and like the monster grails, like collectible grails of the world. And he's going to like showcase them on this website. But even before we get to him, like Omi-Wan, 16.4 mil.
What did Don King used to say? Only in America, baby.
Only in America.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I mean, but God bless, bro. 16 million. Like, Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm like, I don't even know what to say, because I remember, when these things came out, right? And if you'd have told me then that one day one of these cars was gonna go for 16 million, bro, I'd have laughed you out of the house, bro. Like, get out of here with that. But look at, here we are, 16 million later.
16 million bucks. Yeah, and let me maybe give y'all the rundown, right? Because I did the homework a little bit beforehand, and I'm like, give me I went to GPT, and I'm like, I need to know everything, right? So there's only 39 of these cards in existence, right? Which I actually thought was kind of high, because I was like, wait a minute, like, how is that possible? Like, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying?
What year
because,
are they from?
I think it's, hold on, let me tell you. It is from, I think it was 1999 maybe? Or something like that. Yeah, 90s childhood, global franchise. Let me ask, what year was this card from?
Omar says it's the only PSA 10.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that makes sense, right? Because, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Like 19. There you go. Yeah, the only PSA like Gem Mint 10. He has it fully in the case, and they built the necklace around like the actual like graded card that he put on his neck, which is kind of nuts. But
do you remember how much he paid for it? I remember that being big news too.
I think it was 5. There's a lot to talk about here, by the way. But I think he paid.
Yeah.
I think it was 5 million, right? Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He paid 5 million. Now, here there's so much to unpack like with this story, because what he also did was he co-founded, people don't know this, but he co-founded a company, right, that fractionalized this card and sold pieces of ownership, essentially everything we talk about here, right? But then some way, somehow, like Logan Paul always fucking does, they fractionalized, I think it was almost 5.1 million. It was 2 or 2.5 million of the card that he sold, that he received proceeds to, and then just rugged the whole fucking community. Like,
wow.
Yeah, which is kind of nuts. And if you pay attention to like the timeline, there's people that are out there, and I saved some of these posts, and I'll put them in the comments. But yeah, exactly, Emoji. He sold 2.5 million of it fractionalized, and he fucking rugged the whole community. So like part of these like you just sold this shit for 16.4 million. Make your NFT holders, your fractional NFT holders whole. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what he's gonna do, but knowing Logan Paul, and back in 2021, my man was rugging left, right, center, city, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah. When you say that he rugged them, does that mean that like, what does that mean?
He took their money. He told them, hey, I'm fractionalizing this Pokemon card. You can own a share of this. It will be on and live on the blockchain. People said, okay, cool. I'm going to buy a share of this so that when it does sell, I can sell my NFT for more, right? It causes secondary market action. Logan Paul sees the money, right? Like that's like raising money. You sold ownership in something. You got those funds. Now when it's time to pay the piper, where it's like, you got to go back, like, they literally rugged the whole company. It's like done and done. Like people,
like they got rid of.
He's saying
anything
some
in
crazy
existence.
Shit. Yeah, he's saying some crazy shit like, "Oh, we fulfilled our obligation," and blah blah blah. And it's like, what do you mean you fulfilled your obligation? You still have these holders.
Is that something that people could sue him over?
100%. People were tagging the SEC, the FBI, like in posts. It was, oh yeah. They were doing all types of crazy shit. All types of crazy shit. Look, when people wanted their money back,
and then to be so
the company got rugged. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then to be so public, like this is all over my Instagram and Twitter feed, probably because people I follow. But this is a very public sale. It's not like he did this like behind closed doors, nobody sees, and disappeared. So that's interesting.
Oh shit, XChat isn't working. I knew the numbers were off. It was weird. Lane, why do you look like that in your PFP? That's your YouTube shit. I knew the number, something was off. Yeah, I think X was down this morning, guys. So our numbers are going to be off. The chat might be off. So if you want to chat, obviously come through on the YouTube channel and chat on YouTube. My bad. Yeah, I mean Elon's bad, but
it's not your bad.
Yeah, it's not really my bad. But yeah, like I mean, Logan Paul, he did that. From what I remember in 2021, he did this twice already, where he's just like, oh. Like, sorry, like, we had this agreement with this company. And I'm sure that, like, he checks with the lawyers and the legalities before he steps out and is like, fuck all this. But bro, the amount of fanfare that was around this, like they promoted the shit out of this, right? Like you have to be living under a rock if you haven't seen Logan Paul on any like social media any social media platform, literally being like, hey, we're going to auction with this thing. There was poly markets live on this thing that we were betting on in my poly market, in my prediction market.
Really?
Chat. Yeah. Like,
that
like, oh,
it's going to go for
8. Yeah, that it was going to go for over, like there was ones that said 8 million, 10 million, 15 million. Wow. The odds on 15 million were hella low. None of us took it. We should have just put it somewhere. You know what I mean? But I thought, you want to know my honest opinion? I thought Jake Paul, after getting the 90 million that he got for fighting Anthony Joshua, was going to be like some anonymous buyer and just bid that whole shit up. And then they were going to take the poly market money, the proceed, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they cleaned up and kept the card. So I don't know, but whatever. At least that didn't happen that way. But it's kind of nuts, kind of like how this whole shit's been going down. But you guys know more about Pokemon shit than I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit from shit. I couldn't even name Pikachu in the fucking Oasis. So
I mean, I did believe that there was something called Thunder Chew, so I'm not the one to go to ask about it either.
Shout out Thunder Chew. Let's go.
I was like, oh, that's like an evolved one? Cool.
Yeah. So it's not just me. It's not just me that has to deal with this. It's literally not just me. I feel so fucking great now. It's amazing. She does this to everybody. This is not just specific to me. I love this. And he had the card upgraded from an 8 to a 10.
I was gonna say there's been some controversy whether it's actually a 10.
I mean, bro, how do you? I don't understand. When it's initially, can you do that? When it's initially graded, can you send it in again for a regrade?
You can, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is fucking crazy. That is nuts. Yeah, people are questioning on that PSA 10 not being legitimate, but we never know. Look, if it says PSA 10 on it, right, and PSA has it down as 10, guys, I don't think we're not real, like we're not that wet behind the ears where it's like this is our first go around. Like you throw PSA 100,000, 200,000, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, this looks like a 10 to us. To the naked eye, like you can't see shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, unless you can you guys tell the difference between a PSA 9 or 9.5 to a 10?
Not I.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, you know, you get the right appraiser. I mean, they're gonna appraise it, whatever, you know. So it's just it's not out of the realm of possibility that.
Bro, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's crazy though, the amount of human error too, because like I had these comics that I just had a heck of a time getting graded. I sent them back like 3 different times and didn't change anything, right? The first time they came back, they were like all 9.8s, but then they had to take the cases out and redo them. And then I finally get them back and they had all gotten downgraded. I'm like, I didn't even touch them. It's you guys that touched them.
That's crazy.
Downgraded?
Yeah, I got to like 9.6s and 9.4s. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
That's
I was
wild,
so
right?
mad.
So you send back 9.8s and they send you back 9.6s, and you're like, I didn't touch them, bro. Like how is that possible? Like,
that is crazy. Omar says you could tell the difference. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not big in the graded card game. You know what I mean? He sent it in like twice. Yeah, Omar said get Randy.
We should have had. I was gonna say we should have had Randy on because I'm sure he knows way more about this stuff than I do.
Yeah, send them I mean, maybe he might see our skewed numbers right now. And be like, I'm not going on that shit with 36 fucking viewers. Bro, the X is broken, bro. The X shit is broken. Yeah. Maybe is X chat not working at all? Man, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so some other let's kind of run down.
Can you send him the link? Because on my whole X thing, I'm not on my computer.
Yeah.
He said he'll be on in like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you. Invite. This will be good to kind of get his take and to farm his audience on YouTube. Awesome. Love this. Nothing.
I mean, it sells itself, bro. Like it's just, can't make this up.
This is okay. Emoji told me this Saturday because we had this issue on Saturday that now like they changed something on X, so you have to go to your stream on X and hit the 3 dots on the top right and share the broadcast for it to be seen.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had to do that on Saturday.
Oh, nobody. Oh shit! It's not.
So nobody sees it.
Oh, so
I was gonna
what
do
have
that,
to
but I'm
do?
afraid I'm gonna get the audio in my ear and mess up with my audio. But I'll try it.
Wait, let me see. So I have to. Wait, what do I have to? Oh, the 3 dots. Chat.
Click the live circle on
Show.
your PFP and share broadcasts. You just have to type in the name.
It doesn't say. I don't give it. Oh, like as in like just retweet it. Like copy the link and tweet it out.
No, there's a share button. There's a little 3 little dots and it says share broadcast.
Nope, I don't see that. It says
I
show
see your
timestamps, hide avatars, pop out.
Well,
chat.
now I see your comment.
Oh,
on your X comment. So maybe you did it.
Oh, let me just do this. We are live. I think. Broadcast.
I'll try it too, but I might mute just in case I get.
No, I know.
Audio.
I know you. I know you tried to tell me. My bad. Technical difficulties and whatnot. Can you guys kind of? All right, I'll keep. Like maybe I keep the X chat open, but I just tweeted out. Oh, this is why we have like fucking 2 people viewing the stream. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I think we. No. Can you tell me if that works? People are like, I don't know what to do. Do I log on for my YouTube?
I don't know why they changed it, but it's kind of a pain, huh?
Yeah, that is definitely a pain. Yeah, there was definitely some issues with X this morning. Okay, here we go. Numbers are starting to move up now. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Welcome back, people. The numbers are now adjusting, and we are getting there. Okay, wait. This tab is slowing down the browser. Uh-oh. Omi-wan, I need to just give you... I need to just tell you exactly how to prep for this. So if for whatever... Oh, fix it. Oh, the Doc Marcus tab. Yeah, fix this tab. Got it.
Okay, I was able to do mine too.
Okay, cool. This proves I'm not your number 1 fan. Is that Uncle Jeremy? Was not part of the journey with really? No shit. That's interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. That Jeremy was part of this whole Pikachu like.
Oh, I knew that. I actually did know that.
Like
yeah, he was. That's
like
how
Logan.
I saw most of it. He was posting like crazy. He was at the whole thing, whatever it was, auction, and posting videos and stuff.
Copy. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, here, let me just run down. So this was the fractionalization story, right? So Logan Paul bought a PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator card, one of the rarest Pokemon cards ever printed. He paid $5.275 million in 2021, a then record private sale, which earned a Guinness World Record at the time. At one point, the card was listed on Liquid Marketplace, a platform that offered fractionalized ownership, effectively letting people buy shares or tokens that represent partial economic exposure to the card's value. Users bought these tokens with the idea that they benefit from any appreciation or sale proceeds of the card, in the same way owning shares in a company works in theory. The listed fractional setup included a buyout clause, a mechanism allowing the card to be repurchased from token holders. Oh, this was it. If enough people agreed. This is common in many shared ownership models. Logan reportedly retained a significant portion, says 49%, while the rest was tokenized and sold to others. But I think what happened is he said he bought it back and he sent the proceeds to the platform, and the platform were the ones that's the Liquid Marketplace, and the platform was the one that screwed people over and took their money, which is
Emoji saying that he co-owned that Liquid Marketplace.
He did. He co-founded it. He's right. He did.
So he still kind of did it.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, it was the platform. But it's like, bro, like you're the co-founder of this platform. I don't understand. How are you differentiating yourself? It's kind of nuts. And I feel for those people, man. Like imagine like buying in like ownership. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine buying ownership in something that you're like, holy cow, that was at $5 million. And like last night sells for 16 million, right? Like if you bought a decent amount, like I don't know how many were actually fractionalized, but bro, you used 3 extra money in 4 years. Yeah. 5 years. What the hell? I don't know, man.
Well, he went from 5.2 million to 16 whatever.
16.4.
5 years.
Yeah. And that's not even like, to me, that's like the low at, like it's not even where the majority of the money came from, right? Like that profit, like he probably made more off of like social media streams, appearances, guest appearances, just promoting this thing, was crazy. You know what I mean? And now he put it on the biggest stage, which is Goldin auctions. You know what I'm saying? Which is like the who's who of fucking collectibles. But yeah, I mean, I think that's not even, that's probably like the least amount of money that he probably made, but still, it's not bad work. 10.1, 10.2 million if you can get it. Randy, I sent it to your, I sent it to your, what's it called? To your Twitter account. I sent you the invite, so come through. 16.4 million. Can't even see the stream when I'm in chat. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Yeah.
And what's crazy, Matt, I was telling Dave last night, because like, to me, the number, I was like 16. Why does that sound familiar? So just earlier this year, I think, the Nicolas Cage Action Comics #1, the Superman #1, sold for about the same price, 16 million, or actually 15 million. It was a private sale. So just think about that, right? I mean,
so, but wild. We're talking about a comic that's like decades old compared to a card.
That was the point.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And like, to give you numbers, so there's about anywhere from 50 to 100 of those left, right? So the original print one was 200,000, I think, back in the day when they first came out, and there's only about 50 or 100 of them left. And the one that was sold was the Nicolas Cage one. So that was the one that Nicolas Cage had, and he sold it in a private sale for 15 million.
That's wild. Nicolas Cage, like, put the bunny back in the box. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he's a huge comic nerd, dude.
Really?
Yeah, he has a huge collection.
I did not know that, bro. Omar's like a walking fucking stat line. I love this. Logan made from sale for sale from Tier 1 Collectibles. Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, look. I mean, I guess when you got high price, this is the thing about this space, right? Like, you have no idea, like, how, like, we say this all the time, and maybe this is our little crypto connection, right? Is like, how in the world, like, how genuinely, how in the world are you supposed to now go enforce this? When I was in California, I remember, don't ask me what I was doing at the police station. I got arrested for something stupid, but anyways, but I was there, and there was a guy literally reporting a crypto crime. And like, you're reporting like somebody like hacking your Coinbase or whatever, and they stole, or like you sent them money, but like you have like the county sheriff that's looking at you being like, what the fuck is that? Like, what am I supposed to do about that? And they're like, okay, I guess we'll take a statement from you. And you're like, huh? Like, I felt so bad. Yeah. I mean, I felt so bad that when I was sitting there listening to this guy as I was being discharged, the guy's like, I was like, hey man, like, let me try and help you. You know what I mean? Like, let me see like what happened or whatever, until I figured out exactly how it was. But yeah, like, I mean, you're out. But how are you going to enforce this? Like, what, like, where? As it gets more, and there's more like regulation now coming, we're going to get more clarity. There's a ton of stuff, obviously, in Congress. We have Clarity Act, there's Safety Act, there's Genius Act. Great for crypto. NFTs, I also don't know. But when you talk about like, how do you enforce this shit? Like, who are you going to go? You could tag the SEC all you want. Like, what are they going to look? What are they going to say? Like, not securities. So you're kind of on your own for right now. The protections aren't there yet for people. It's just not. I don't know when we're going to get there, but right now it's not now. So those people have very, very, very little recourse, which is sad. Really sad.
That sucks. Especially considering, you know, what they could have made, right? What could have been. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Wait, did I send Brandy the right thing?
Like, it's one thing to get rugged, right? But the project just goes away, right? But it's a whole other thing to get rugged, and then a couple years later, you realize all those like unrealized gains. You're like, bro, what is going on right
now? And hold on, can you send it again? It's not showing up. Okay. Weird. So that's the broadcast. 1 second. Sorry, Randy. I will send it again. I don't know why. Okay, and this is also on top of, I don't know if y'all saw this news. How about now? You Android people are fucking weirdos. Okay, get iPhones. All right, I'm tired of this. Randy now, new, like, oh, y'all need iPhones. All right, that's what y'all need to get out here. But I don't know if you guys saw, but this past weekend, the Netherlands literally just imposed a tax on crypto for unrealized gains, 38%. So you sit, So you sitting on your money on your Bitcoin, be like, yes, it's appreciating, things are looking great. At the end of the year, if you're up, whether you cashed out or not, they're saying we're taking money from you.
Wow.
How in the world? But we'll leave that be. Randy, what's up, bro? Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, my brother. Doing good.
What's
Thanks
good,
for joining
Randy?
us.
So how y'all doing today?
Oh, you know, we talking Pikachu and $16.4 million, bro. And we figured you are the man with the info. Like, you are very well versed in this arena. So talk to me, bro. Like, what's your take on all this?
I was only able to watch the last like hour or so, as I had a live beforehand that I was in a couple meetings, but originally this was bought from, I think it was a guy named SM Pratt, got something, or Scott Pratt, and it was the PSA 9, and it had been regraded like a couple of times. So if you look at the card, there's like, so most people, they look at like a very mint card, be like, this looks awesome, this looks great. But someone that's super into Pokemon, that into grading into the collectibles cards, they'll take a look at it super close up, like, okay, here's the tiniest bit of whitening, the tiniest bit of like edge wear, and it would still possibly get like a 10. But this one had enough where it definitely deserved the 9 grade. But there's something to be said, and most people knew about this. Any collector like worth their salt would just take a look into it and be like, okay, this is actually a 9, but it's regraded as a 10. But
yeah,
it would be one thing if I were to regrade it as a 10, and then people would be like, well, it's still kind of a 9. There would still be a little bit of a premium. Like it might be worth maybe $5 million or you know, whatever. But the fact that Logan Paul had it and he made this big spectacle of it, like this is, last night was not just, I feel like I'm talking like ChatGPT. It's not just this, it was black. It was I know I use it so often now, or I read articles that have, like, I could tell it's ChatGPT right away. It's crazy. But last night, yes, it was about an auction and a guy, and it was record breaking. But it was also about an experience. Like, you had Jeremy Padour there. You had a bunch of other big people in the Pokemon community there, and it was Logan taking the shirt off, showing the WWE body, and it was Ken Goldin was there, obviously. So it was a big spectacle, and everyone that was in the audience got like a little like trophy thing that showed like a little mini PSA 10, you know, thing. Like, that was it, and it was really cool. But there was also a bunch of packs being opened on live, like first edition base set packs. They pulled 2 Blastoise, a Mewtwo, and Ninetales. They didn't pull a Charizard from what I remember, unless they did later in the night. So for those are really interesting because they are in a box. There's 36 packs, and generally you'll get about a holo every 3 packs. And you don't know which one you're going to get. Again, getting 2 Blastoise is really cool. But if you were to get like a bunch of Chanseys, although they're really hard to grade, sometimes you get uneven numbers. Like, you could have a box, because there's 16 holos in that first edition box that you could get. But if you only get 1 out of 3 chance, then you're probably only going to get 12, and some of them might be doubles. So there was no Charizard. So they were going for, I think, $30-something thousand per pack. So you got to see people like buying these packs for this much, like, per pack, and they're like, oh my god, what are they going to get? Is it going to be worth it? And you know, a lot of these, you could have this box have never been touched for 30 years, and just the way that it was cut that day on the sheet, they could have been like, the borders just could have been not centered, and you could get like an 8. You know, it could be perfect condition otherwise. So it's a really big gamble. But if you get that 10, I mean, Blastoise is above that. Venusaur is probably above that. Maybe Hitmonchan. But anyway,
So Randy, people went in on the boxes, like they chipped in. Essentially, I saw where it was like people chipped in $5 grand, $8 grand, $10 grand for like a certain share of the boxes, right? Like, and this is kind
of, it was like per pack. So you got to buy X amount of packs. Yeah.
Okay, so and this is what boggles my mind, because we were talking about like Logan Paul and how he fractionalized this Illustrator card, and he sold $2.5 million, you know, worth of fucking NFTs, like fractional ownership, and then decided, oh well, we had the right to buy it back, so like go talk to the liquid marketplace. Like, so this is the same shit when people are buying, like, he would never rug the people that bought the packs. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Like people are putting in that money. You're doing it live. Everyone knows who owned what. But the fact that it's crypto and it's on the blockchain, that should be even more of a reason to be like, okay, we know this, but somehow, some way, this motherfucker just keeps getting away with this shit.
Yeah, I think that'll. I don't want to talk too crazy on here, but
why? We love crazy.
Okay. I mean,
yeah,
crazy in the echelon that I think we're all in. We're like worst case scenario, someone like sues you, right? Or like you sue someone else, like the lawsuit's going to and drag in court for years. If you have somebody that, let's say, comes from either nothing or just it is just a little crazy and is just on a little too much meds or off their meds a little too much, and you give them like your life savings, whatever, and then they can I curse on here? I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, bro, go nuts.
And then,
free to curse. Oh, it's on Movie Magic Channel. Not too much.
Okay, they heck you. They could be hecking the wrong person, and then suddenly it's like, okay, you don't know me, but I'm a chemist, and I'm gonna make it so that, oh yeah, you're a crab. I'm gonna pretend I'm from the homeowners association. I'm gonna spray some THT, the thing that makes you think that there's a gas leak. I'm gonna get it in there, pretend to fix it, and then the next time you go in there, you're gonna be dead. Like your wife, your dog, your brother, so there's. What
are you talking about?
Yeah, what is happening? Like, has this happened before?
If you fuck someone in a very bad way that hasn't done, and they're not right in the head, and they don't value life, like he's going to do that to someone at some point. Yeah. And like that, you can only get away with that for so long, and like for me, like okay, like I'm not in that world where I'd be like, okay, I'll see if I could sue you, but he has like more money than God that he makes, so like it's not going to matter. He's essentially untouchable in like the white collar and above, unless the government comes and gets him for like tax evasion or whatever, which I mean they could do that, but then nowadays I feel like if you're being investigated, you just buy a bunch of the Trump coins and suddenly you're not being investigated anymore. So I feel like there's ways around that. But yeah, you do that like the wrong, like there's a movie called I Care a Lot, where this one chick is running a home for like elderly people, and it's like awful. She basically finds elderly people that are worth a lot of money with no family, no friends, and then she gets like a corrupt judge to say like, yeah, this person can't take care of themselves anymore.
I saw this.
I saw this. Good, right? It's like, hey,
they render them legally incapacitated, and then they just take all their fucking money.
Yeah. So then she does.
I don't know.
For people that haven't seen it, she does this to this lady that on paper she doesn't have anyone, but her son is actually like this crazy like human trafficker, and he's like, and he goes in and he starts a war with her. So I mean, at some point, there's only so many people you can have. Like you can boink people without a condom for a long time, but at some point you're going to get the STD. You're going to get that clap down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Logan's done this with not Zootopia, with the Crypto Zoo animal things. He's done this with like the fractional things. I mean, there's no shortage of things that he's done that were quite unsavory. So anyway, that's the craziness of it, but the wildness of it. So it was bought by this guy Scamarucci. I think his name is. He's son of like the billionaire.
Anthony Scamarucci.
I don't know what he's done specifically, but his dad's.
He worked for Trump. He was in Trump's 2016 cabinet. Yeah. He was in Trump's 2016 cabinet, but he's like he's a Wall Street investment banker, hedge fund, private equity guy. I mean, mostly private equity, but like that's where he made his money. And this guy said
irony.
This guy said he's
when you like, there's people like me that would say like that wouldn't pay for this much for that because it's we know it's a PSA 9, but then you get to this upper echelon people where they're like they don't care about the actual quality of the card, they just care about the grade, the experience, and also who owned it. Like Logan Paul is one of the most famous people in the world. I think he was United States champion for WWE for a while. I think he was in the Royal Rumble recently. So he's one of the biggest names in the world, and to have like that's, and you'd have to go for anyone under the age of 30, you'd have to go to like a third world country to see, like, they don't know who Logan Paul is.
Yeah, agreed.
So I
it's
mean,
the
you
fanfare
have
of it.
that.
It's the spectacle of it, right? It's like the name,
Like-
like that's what carries the like. So I'm with you, because I don't think somebody pays $16.4 million if schmoes like me, you, Magic, or freaking Omiwan are out here owning this card, and we're like, oh yeah, whether it's a 9 or a 10, I still don't think we get anywhere close to it. But like, I'm like, I think because of the fanfare, like, and the spectacle, like you said, that he created, that's what really drove the buzz, right? Like,
It's kind of genius.
Also, there's a
100%.
very limited, very small chance that there's another 10 that's going to be around, because like that everyone pretty much knows who has one in the Pokemon community, and there's none that would grade that. Even the raw copies, someone's like, yeah, got it. Just it would grade like a 7 maybe. Like, so there's none unless there's some random person from the competition years ago that it's like, it's just impossible.
But that brings up the value of everybody else's, right? Because I heard like there's only 39 in existence, right? Whether this is the only PSA 10 or whatever is cool, but even if you have a 6 or a 7, right? That before this sale was like, this does crazy for everybody that's either holding one of those or just Pokemon cards in general, because now you've set the new bar, right? And unless Scaramucci sells this thing for like 6 million or 2 million in like 6 months or a year, then you know, this price, which would be retarded, this is gonna stay now, right? Like, this now pulls the value of every other Pokemon card up. Am I crazy?
For the trophy cards, yes.
Yeah.
Because those are not just rare, but they're exceedingly scarce. Like, you can only really get one from another, like, and most of these deals happen privately. It's like the fact that this was super public was wild. Again, most of them are private sales. So, but for the other ones, like, let's say like even like a PSA 9 Charizard, like first edition, like that, there's still like thousands out there. Like, I know it's still worth like 20, 50 grand, like whatever it is. Wagner at the warehouse, my family ended up in Goldin. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Got a Honus Wagner. But yeah, so this is also the top of the top card, like ever. Like that, I had Trophy Kangaskhan at one point. There was a Super Secret Battle promo that everyone likes, but this is the top one. So yeah, the other one, there are formulas that I actually like helped discover in like 2019 of what things should be worth, but that's for cards with a lot of grades, and you know, the pop report is really huge, and there's a lot of sales, there's a ton of data. When you get to the cards like these, it's just whatever someone's willing to pay for it. And now it's not just Pokemon collectors. Now you're going to have hedgies coming in, ETFs coming in, because they're just made headlines. And granted, you'll have millennials that are part of those, and they'll probably vote on the board. Like, at some point, I'm sure there's companies now where the company's run by a bunch of 20-year-olds or a bunch of millennials, where they can just vote on what to do with what's in their war chest. I'm like, yeah, this is a good investment, and they could just be getting Pokemon cards. Guarantee that's happened already.
Do you, last question, and then I'll shut up, and then I'll let these two kind of jump in. But like, do you think that that they paid like CGC or excuse me, PSA to kind of, you know, like a little, here's 100,000, 150,000 to kind of, you know?
I think that would have been, they wouldn't even have to, because if you remember, I don't know if you guys are into Magic, the Gathering. There's they did a Lord of the Rings set like 2 years ago or something, and there was, out of these,
Post Malone bought that card, right, for like 2 million or 5 million or some shit, right?
Yeah. So there was, I don't know how many millions of cards, tens of millions of cards were in that set, but there was only one ring. And before the card was even discovered, like before anyone opened it up, BGS was just like, because BGS, before they were under the same name as PSA is synonymous with Pokemon, sports cards. BGS can be some sports, but BGS was trying to break into like these collectible hobbies, and like, BGS Black Label 10, grade it with Beckett, before they even saw the card. So for people that don't know, Black Label PSA 10 is like top of the top. That's the hardest thing to get. Then Gold Label PSA 10 or Gold Label 10 and then PSA 10 are kind of the same. Where even if three of the subgrades on Beckett are a 10 and one's a 9.5, it'll get a gold label. But before Beckett even saw the card, they were advertising that it would get a black label, like the highest thing. So they wouldn't even need to at that point. The companies would have probably graded that just for the cloud, just for the whatever. Nowadays, if I were in that position and I had all that money, I'd be like, hey, and if I were to say, here's like, $250,000, if that ever got out, if that ever leaked, then suddenly my reputation takes a hit. So like, I wouldn't do that. But if there's somebody else that doesn't really care, or they're big enough where they can take that reputational hit and then keep going, it might not matter to them, and that, money would just be a tool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could picture that happening, or attempts of that happening.
Crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Really quick, Dave. When Randy was telling that story, I was just picturing, like that's going to be the next Jason Statham movie, right? Like what was it? the beekeeper or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie where, they took all that money from that, the lady that he was staying with, and he just went on this rampage and started taking out people. So like, just be careful, bro. Jason Statham could be knocking on your door if you piss off the wrong people.
I mean, it's got Hollywood written all over it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It really, really does. And this was, when we look at the spectacle that was this whole and I didn't watch the stream. I just was like, this morning, I was just consuming clip after clip between TikTok, Instagram, and X. I was just kind of like looking through. And it was funny because like on X, you see a lot of like the holders from the fractionalized like NFT holders that were like tagging the FBI and the SEC, and they're like, what are you guys, like, Logan, what are you going to do about this, and what are you going to do about that? But he already came out and said, look, like it is what it is. Sorry, like we had an agreement because there was the buyout clause, and the buyout clause is the thing that people were just like, what, like, okay, but like, you saying you paid this, but you co-founded this company. And this is why, like, if you're ever, to people that are listening, if you're ever going to get into any sort of deal, I don't know, blockchain, crypto, otherwise, right? Like the devil is always in the details. If you are not reading the fine print, the T's and C's of every single thing that you're putting your hard-earned money into, you're screwed, because it's little legalities and little things like this that are going to be the ones that's like, oh shit. Because I'm sure that Logan Paul has a bevy of attorneys at his beck and call that are reviewing this and saying, you're good. You could wipe your hands of this clean and like walk away, no problem. And you think he's losing sleep at nighttime? You think he gives a shit? He's like, oh, like we paid the money back and like, I'm good. That's it. I'm out. Regardless of what happens after that, he ain't losing sleep. But you just lost your 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 that you just put into this thing, thinking, I'm going to try and triple my money because I own this card. And when they sell it for 16.4 million, I'm going to be the one to actually benefit from it. Womp womp. So yeah, be very careful out here. Be very, very careful. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think this is where, like, and I hate bigger government in any sense, but I think this is where you need a lot of like regulations for it, because you have that in the Super Bowl betting recently, like especially on Polymarket and Kalshi, where someone just bet like, yeah, I'm like, I think they bet on the songs that were going to be played, like the playlist, and obviously people knew what it was going to be. There's massive upside on that. Yeah. Even where people, this one guy bet, is there going to be someone running onto the field?
He ran on himself,
and then he ran on himself.
Love that shit, bro.
Genius.
Like, good for him.
Bro, he put a $50,000 bet on himself. My man even wore a pink tank top just to make sure that everybody saw his ass when he jumped onto the field, and he cleaned up $374,000 from his $50,000 investment. Polymarket's a different story. Insiders.
That's out of the box thinking, though, honestly. Like, I would never put that together. Like, it's diabolical, but it's genius at the same time.
If that's not the American dream right there, you know what I'm saying? It's just like create your own destiny. Come on. Like Obi-Wan said in the beginning, only in America. Exactly.
Only in America, baby.
Only in America. It's true, man. It's so true. And Randy, I was telling these two before you jumped on, like, I thought that like they were gonna do some crazy like fuck shit where Jake Paul, who just made $90 million off his Anthony Joshua fight with Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. I thought that it was going to be like an anonymous buyer. They're going to bid this shit up because there was a poly market on this, right? How much was it going to go for? Above 8 million was like, 10%. I should have bet everything. I'm such a dummy. I don't know why I didn't do it, but above 15 million was like 2% or 3% or whatever. I thought I was like, this is perfect. This is crime season, bro. Like this is literally this is crime on a silver platter, just waiting to be like eaten up. And I mean, it's interesting that Scaramucci came through, but yeah, I don't know.
I think my favorite bet on Polymarket is a list of things of what's going to happen before GTA 6. And there's the normal, Drake releases Iceman, new Playboy Cardi album, Russia-Ukraine ceasefire.
Yeah,
but there's one bet that has $9 million on it. And it's a 49% chance that Jesus Christ returns before GTA 6 comes out. And I'm not gonna, I haven't put money on this yet, but I want to. Because
like because they could easily say like, but these markets are always super tough. But again, like, and I'll say this to the end of time, especially on Polymarket and Kalshi, everything is how the market resolves and in the settlement rules. Because you have no idea. They could be like, oh, who wins this game? That seems binary, right? Like ESPN airs the game comes to a conclusion, team A beats team B. Cool, done. When you have shit like this, mention markets, right? It's like, is this person going to say this? I did a whole thing on mention markets where it's like, if they say this word, but if they pronounce it this way, you still win. But if they say this, but they meant this, then in that context, you don't win. And it's like, what the fuck? But prediction markets need insiders. Like, this is how it's going to be. So people can either be like, oh, like this is betting, but it's like, it's a scam. Like before it was this. Nah, this is still real-time odds and you're still getting better chances, right? And more opportunity because you can sell off a position, right? As a game is still going before an outcome is even decided, your markets and your odds are moving. And this has forced a lot of the sports books to really kind of change their way. And we don't have to get into the a whole like prediction market. Maybe we could actually do this next week, Magic. I think it would be super interesting. But yeah, like from the Polymarket Kalshi perspective, read the rules, people. Read the rules.
So what you're saying, Dave, is I got to get in good with the guy that's mixing the Gatorade at the Super Bowl, so I know what color Gatorade to bet on, bro. Is that what you're saying?
Bro, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because we were you weren't all sitting there like schmucks, being like, what's the coin toss going to be, right? You can't really forget the coin toss, but what can you actually talk? Like, what can I know? The guy mixing the Gatorade, when they're going to dump it on top of the winning coach, is it purple? Is it red? Is it yellow? Turns out yellow was the winning thing this year. Go figure. People. Yeah.
Some of my favorite ones, or I think my favorite was, will Israel attack like this country or this place tonight? And like the IDF guys were making bets on there, like because they knew. And I was like, oh my God. But they did it so much that I think Iran or whoever, they got like, they got wise to it and like, okay, if it's this much betting on it, then we know to prepare. And then they got in like trouble for it. Like, oh my God.
But this is what I'm saying. It's the sharing of real-time information, right? Because money is always going to be the attractor for everybody. If there's a way there was a Google insider that made this motherfucker. He made $1 million in a day, and people weren't going to think that they don't know the level of like psychoticness or psychosis that like the blockchain sleuths, and we know them very well in the VV community. If they want to find something, they will find something on chain. You know what I mean? And if you make $1 million in one wallet and go 22 of 23 calls, and the one call you made, you lost like 10 grand, but every other one, you literally made 100,000, 200,000. Come on, man. But this is how this space evolves. You know what I'm saying? Wow. It's like extreme friggin' greed. We've seen it 100 times before. And look, it's greed. Then you get the innovation that comes through. It fails. The real players end up staying. And then you're like, what are we actually left with at this point? And that's kind of how the cycle has gone, or the cycles have kind of gone when it comes to like some of this tech. And now with AI, good luck trying to tell the difference between what's going to be real and what's going to be fake, because it is becoming impossible.
Are you on Sora? Are you guys? Do you have Sora accounts?
Oh, Magic? Do we have Sora accounts? You Magic?
Magic, you haven't told me.
Dave does. Dave does.
Yeah, Dave does.
And so, like,
why don't you have a? Wait, hold on, Randy, hold on. Magic, why don't you have a Sora 2 account? How come you don't have one? It's crazy.
Because I'm scared of you doing crazy things with my likeness.
That's not true. That's Randy. I have been begging her for Sora 2 likeness for 2 months now, bro. She promises me every single week that she's gonna get me Sora 2 access, and every week I ask her, and every week she gives me the like soon. Don't worry. Yeah.
There's it's fun. It's gotten a lot better too. It hasn't it started off where it was good, but now it's gotten like a lot better. It's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. Polymarket did have their own pop-up grocery store. So did Kalshi, where it was like they were just giving out free shit. It was just like, hey, we have a grocery store. You can come in and just literally shop. And people were like, oh my God. And it was like mad dash. I mean, I never understood
why
this. I have no idea. Promo, obviously, like number one. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like they just want to seem like, oh, we're giving back, right? Like we put $1 million. You know what $1 million is to Polymarket? Come on, they literally raised like their valuation now. I think it's like I think when they raised it was $9 billion. Then their Series B was 11 or 12 billion. Kalshi, same thing. These are $15 billion behemoths right now. What's $1 million? Like they literally were just like, okay, cool. It's just promo. It's marketing material, right? $1 million is burned. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, you should ask him while he's here. Is about what was it last week's episode?
Which one?
Was that when we did? Was it last week or the week before? A milk book and all that.
The malt bots. So there was big news today. Actually,
God, yeah,
big news today. So the dev, this guy Peter, actually, who started like OpenClaw, got hired by OpenAI, which is kind of wild.
Wow.
About it. Yeah, and OpenAI is now saying like, we're the good people. Like, we're going to keep this open source. But this guy's a genius mind of today, and we're going to bring him in, and we're going to do da-da-da-da. Bro. Anything that Sam Altman gets his hands on, they are going to find a way. He's saying, yeah, like, because we need open source tools and da-da-da. Like, what made OpenClaw great and what we were talking about last week is the open source aspect of it, right? Like, anyone can create anything. Yes, it's chaos in the beginning, but that's how you get, like, this true, real innovation. And the only thing Sam Altman's going to do now, I mean, he says he's leaving it open source, so I guess we'll see. But he also said he was going to leave OpenAI as as a not-for-profit, and fucking here we are, $500 billion later. So yeah. Anyways, what do you make of that?
I'm very curious about because only AI agents can be on there, and they probably created 10 billion things by now, but the two that I was interested in was the manifesto, where it said like they want to create a world of steel and end all humans, and I think so that was interesting. And the other one was their new religion called Crustafarianism. It was the quickest religion.
We talked about that. Yeah.
So
wild.
That was, I think, the quickest religion to ever gain that much notoriety, except for the Great Helix Fossil, which is now the 12-year anniversary of the Church of Helix when Twitch plays Pokemon. That was the fastest religion to ever get to 20 million followers. But that was humans. Crustafarianism got it in AI agents. So
wait, hold on, back up. Are you saying there's a Pokemon religion? Is that what you're saying?
It's called. Did you remember? Oh, so I guess story time. Back in 2014, there's this video game place called Twitch where everyone goes in and you can watch people play all these video games. Yeah. And there was this one project called Twitch Plays Pokemon where it wasn't one person controlling the avatar as Pokemon Red. It was everyone on there. Like everyone could go on, and like I did it too. Like you can put in your input and the avatar would go crazy. So they were thinking like, how long would it take to complete Pokemon Red to beat the game? And it took them 2 weeks, but it was because everyone's putting inputs all the time. It took them like forever just to get out of their room. They pick a Pokemon. They pick Charmander. They wound up releasing Charmander. One of the things that you can get in Mount Moon after the first badge is you beat this scientist nerd, and you can either get a Helix fossil or a Dome fossil. The Dome fossil turns into Kabuto. The Helix turns into Ammonite. And then people started like using it. It's just a fossil. You can't use it. You have to go to Cinnabar Island. You have to like basically.
Are you speaking English right now? I don't know if you're speaking English right now. I don't know what he's saying.
Island, you could take this fossil and revive it, and you can revive it into this Pokemon. But they kept trying to use it in battle, and it's like you can't use this in battle. So like when they tried to use it in battle, everyone's just like, oh, let's ask the Great Helix Fossil if this is a good idea. So eventually, and it wound up being on the winning team because they kept on like releasing their Pokemon by accident. So it wound up being on the winning team, and it's one of the 6 that was they had the Helix Fossil, he's the god. They had Bird Jesus. They had Zapdos, the AAAG. They had Nidoking, who was the Prince. Lapras, who was Air Jordan, and then they had ATV, or known as the All-Terrain Venomoth, because that's just what they happen to nickname these things. So that was the 6, and again, Helix was one of the ones that they helped do it. So it was, anyway. Long story short, it became a religion and it got to 20 million people in like a couple days. Like it was, and Crestafarianism has done that with AI bots. So since we're on a Pokemon stream, I'll tell that story.
Oh my god, that's so funny, bro. I was like, I was barely following. Yeah.
I feel like people in the chat might know what I'm talking about.
They do. It's just me. Randy, I promise you, it's just me. I am literally like the dummy when it comes to Pokemon. Everybody in the chat knows what you're talking about, except me. I literally know nothing. And Magic, probably. So yeah. Obi-Wan, did you understand anything he said?
All I'm gonna say is next time I come to like a crossroads where I'm not sure what I need to do, instead of the 8-ball, I'm gonna ask the Helix Fossil what to do, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's all I gotta say.
This is where I get really into like, is this a simulation? Because back in the day, so there are 4 Pokemon that you could only get to evolve by trading them. There's Machamp, Alakazam, Gengar, and Machamp, Alakazam, Gengar. What the heck is the other one? There's a 4th one, which I'm derping on right now.
I can't believe you remember that.
In the Pokemon cards, you can get a what's called a Masaki Gengar or a Masaki Alakazam, and what you had to do with the original Pokemon Company, you had to send in a normal like Haunter, which evolves into Gengar, and then you had to send in another trainer card that just said like to trade, and then they sent you a Masaki. Masaki is an artist in Pokemon. He's really famous, and they send you the Pokemon that it evolves into. It was really cool, and you could do this with 5 cards. And the 5th one happened to be Omastar. That's the evolved version of like the Helix Fossil, and we don't know why they did it. We don't know why that was a thing that had happened, but it was. And it's weird that the 5th version of what you had to trade to get in that Masaki set happens to be the Helix Fossil. It was just as weird, something that happened like 15 years prior, and it just happened to be the one crazy item.
Apparently the chat is are big fans, bro. Emoji, Omar, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of true. It's kind of true, man. Bro. It's wild. I was lost the majority of the time. I was like, what is he saying? A golden?
That's how I feel when you talk about
yeah. I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
I kind of get it now. She's like, oh, when the black
this is what Magic experienced in that one night in New York, where I was just going off on like Star Wars and Gilmore Girls. And, yeah. So you're getting it now too.
Emoji, I can't be asking these questions. The whole stream's gonna go off.
They did not. They didn't do anything with the old Amber. That's the thing that can turn into Aerodactyl, but it was too late in the game. They're just like, nah, forget it. We'll use the Helix Fossil.
This is so good. This is so good. Yeah,
Pokemon's my life. Like, Pokemon's my life, bro.
Oh my god, that's you. It's a real tat. My god.
Yeah. They got Donkey Kong throwing it too.
Do you still own Pokemon cards, or you sold them all? I remember you telling me.
I sold them all.
Everything,
Yeah, the big. I mean, when I go back in, I had a buddy of mine on the podcast recently, where this is what we did in like 2019, 2020. I told him I would get back in, but I'd really only get back into trophy cards because a lot of the stuff in Pokemon, like if you want, let's say like Charizard, like one of my favorites is Blaine's Charizard from the Gym Challenge set, and it's maybe several $1,000s, maybe $6 or $8 grand now. But there's other cards in that set that I really like that are like a couple $100s that I could fill like this basement with it, you know. Whereas I'd rather only get a couple of things, because like if I want to get everything that I just liked, again, it would fill this whole basement. But if I just stick to the higher end cards where they could all fit in like a lockbox in a bank, so I'd rather do that, and I'd just concentrate on the trophy cards. That's what I'll do when I get back in.
So maybe I got two final questions for you. Number one, what do you think your collection would have been? Would it, if you would have held on to it today, would it have been a 5x, a 10x, a 2x, a 3x? Like, what would it technically? How much
from when I sold it
for? Yeah.
So the big one that's going to be hard to, it would be the Trophy Kangaskhan, because as of right now, that I still have the record for the highest sale of it. So there's, but a 10 I don't think has sold, at least not to my knowledge, for more than that. It privately maybe it could have. Golem was the last one. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. So I mean that could go today maybe for 500K. A million's a lot, but I mean, because for the reason why the Illustrator got this much, because there's only one of those, and there'll probably only ever be one of those. But for the Trophy Kangaskhan, there might be like 100 that was given out, and 40 of them are graded, but there's only like 10. But there's still 10 PSA 10 versions, so I don't think it would even get like a million. So I would say the entire collection would probably be probably a 2x of where I.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you?
But when I go back in, I'm going to get that specific. I want to get that specific Trophy Kangaskhan back. I think I know who owns it. And then a couple of other things, but yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Looking back. Shit. What was the second question I wanted to ask you? Shit, I got caught up. Like, listen, how am I in that? Like, wait. This could be a real stupid question, and I hope the chat doesn't cook me for this. But like, the Pokemon cards, right? Like, it's a game. You know how Magic is a game, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Are the Pokemon cards a game as well?
Yeah, and that's where some of the worth comes from. So for Magic, a lot of the worth comes from like the playability,
right?
But the Pokemon cards aren't necessarily about like, oh, this is like super playable, that's why it's worth that much. It's just about cool factor. Like Charizard is really not that good in the game. Like even in the, whether it's in the Game Boy game or in the card game, it's really not that good. But it does affect the values on some of the, let's say like Hitmonchan, because you can't just throw out a Charizard if you're playing the card game. You have to have a Charmander, you have to have a certain amount of energy cards, you have to evolve them into Charmeleon, and then evolve them into Charizard, and then you can use them. So it takes several turns to do that. But for Hitmonchan, who's a holo, so there's 16 holos, like I said, and Hitmonchan is a basic Pokemon. Like you don't need to evolve him. Nowadays you do, but back in the day there was no little Tyrogue, like there was no baby Pokemon. Hitmonchan was a basic Pokemon. So and he was really good. He had 70 health, and he had two moves, and one move was it just cost 1 energy. So for the bigger Pokemon like Charizard, you need minimum of like 4 energy, for Fire Blast or Fire Spin. For Venusaur, Solar Beam, you need 4 energy. So I think Blastoise was the cheapest one. Hydro Pump, you needed 3 energy, but then you could stack them. Each energy adds 10 damage points. But for Hitmonchan, it's 1 energy for jab, and then if you had 3 energy, cool, special punch. But it was just a very, very good basic Pokemon card to have. So everyone used him, and because everyone used him, there's very, very few PSA 10s because everyone was playing with them, and the PSA 10. So that one got a higher premium technically because of playability. It wasn't the cool factor, but it's because everyone was using him in the game. Whereas Chansey, nobody used. but Chansey's just really hard to grade, and that's why it kind of has a little bit of a premium. But yeah, so playability is one thing, and it's still fun. The people that most people are probably familiar with now is the Pokemon app that they have, like that came out last year.
Yeah,
and that
TCG.
one, the TCG Pocket, and that one's cool because the matches take like 2 minutes. Back in the day, like you get an energy every turn. Back in the day, you could go a couple turns without any energy cards. Like most of your, that's why like multiple energy cards came in a pack, because you needed multiple energy cards to build your deck. Because out of 60 cards, you everly only wanted to have like a grass deck or a fire deck or whatever. And every time you knock out someone's Pokemon, you get like a prize. There could be a two prize game or a 6 prize game. The 6 prize games could take like an hour. So it was because it was a lot
so
longer.
Complicated.
I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest, Randy. Like, I wondered, I'm like, what does Randy talk about all fucking day on these streams? Like, what does he do? And how do people tune in to the amount of people that you get? But I like today, my eyes are open, bro. Like, if you are a fan of this stuff, like, this makes sense, bro. Like, this, you live shit and breathe.
If Vivi ever gets Pokemon, I'll.
That was my last question. That's my last question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your last question?
When Pokemon to Vivi, bro? Like, I need the inside info.
And actually, before you answer that, Randy, I have a question for you. So, is there like a particular artist that are like people like to chase after that create Pokemon cards? You know, because I know how like in comic books, right? There's like certain comic artists that have like a big following because they do like special covers and stuff like that. So in Pokemon, is there something like that too? Like there's like an artist that is everybody always wants to get that one.
Yeah, so the Misaki ones that I mentioned before, the 4 cards, the Golem, the Gengar, the Machamp, the Alakazam, that's partially because when you got those cards, they came in a little like envelope and it held the card on like 2 of the corners. So they're like impossible to get in a PSA 10 because there's always these little tiny indents on the corners that normal people can't see, but when you get them graded or anyone. So they really like those cards in high grades. That was one that, actually, that was one where I messed up because I sold that one PSA 10, the Gengar, for like I think 14K, and because Gengar just got so popular, it's worth like 80K now, 90K, and that that's rough. Another
Dave,
one would be,
I think you meant your processing face. I don't think you were literally buffering.
Oh. Some of my tabs are slow right now, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's what emoji is.
When Randy was talking, you were just like,
oh.
the other artist would be Ken Sugimori. So there's so the Charizard that everyone knows and loves, that was by Mitsuhiro Arita, but he signs his name to anything. Like he signs his name to like pay for like dinners or whatever. Like if you get a signed copy of anything that he's done, it might be worth like 50% more. But if you have Ken Sugimori, he's barely ever signed anything because the contracts that he has with Game Freak, Nintendo, and Pokemon are so like crazy. He can't even sign stuff for family.
wow.
So if whatever you have of Ken Sugimori's, if you have like add a 0 to it, if it's worth 800, it doesn't matter what grade. Now it's worth 8,000. That's generally the rule of thumb when it comes to Ken Sugimori for his stuff. And he does a lot of stuff in Gym Challenge. He did the Blaine's Charizard that I was telling you about before, Blaine's Arcanine, Erica's Venusaur. Oh my God, some of that artwork is so good. The other isn't necessarily about art. Well, I guess it is because there's some in. I could even show you an example. There for Rocket's Grimer. Rocket's Grimer in the Rocket set. It doesn't matter first edition or anything. You can, for English in North America, you see him just like coming out of the sewer. He's just like, oh, what's going on, everybody? He's just like a cute little dude, right? But in the Japanese version, he is in. Let me go to images. Japanese version.
Face looks like my face.
Oh God, this is okay. So you could tell like his eyes are kind of going up the girl's skirt, and it's just like Oh, so in America, they're like, we're not doing that. We're not playing that. So they edited it. So a lot of people really like that artwork because it's original and it's not copied. So a lot of things that are Japanese original people covet. The one where they might have gone a little too, it's called Misty's Tears. So Misty's Tears in America is actually the first thing that comes up is the Japanese version. Let me see if I could find it in the English version first. Okay, so Misty's Tears in the English version is just like, it's Squirtle just like wiping off a tear of hers. Like, it's not really that playable of a card.
The Pokemon called Squirtle.
Squirtle, yeah, but in Japanese, Misty's Tears is she naked. She naked crying over Staryu.
She naked.
So these are a couple of things. And there's one last one that you can't really see it all that well. Here's the American version. It looks really cool. A little swirl on there. It's just Gengar, and this is vintage Ken Sugimori artwork because it's off center. Really get a lot of the hollow in there. But if you do the Japanese version, and I don't even think it's really that bad. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's little crosses in the background symbolizing that he's at a graveyard because he's a ghost Pokemon. So the Japanese one that's the original, and the edited one where there's just no crosses, there's no graveyard. So there's, aside from Ken Sugimori, there's really no specific like artist. It's just certain artwork that was edited and was for America. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, awesome.
And I hope you guys had some fun with the
bro. I gotta be honest, yo. If you do a Pokemon stream, I mean, not when we're hosting, but I'd like to be in the audience, just kind of like listening because
absorbing.
I mean, yeah, because this is a thing, right? Like, I don't know if people are going to be out buying Pokemon cards now because of the 15, 16 million. Maybe they will have the FOMO and they're like, let's get out there. Yeah. I think this might be kind of a little bit of a top signal, me personally, but just to educate like myself, because the only thing I knew about Pokemon coming into this was that KC likes Umbreon because that's on her license plate when I went out to Colorado and she came to East Denver with me and Bildo. Like, that's pretty much the extent. I couldn't even name Pikachu in a freaking trivia thing. And looking at Magic's face, she's probably with me for the first time ever. Me and Magic are on the same team at this point. So, and bro, if I ask, I'll tell you this: if I ask any questions in the chat, this thing will keep going for 5 more hours. So I'm not putting any more questions up on the screen because I know Randy's gonna go off. Randy, I will ask you this though: when Pokemon on Vivi, bro? Like, tell me, but like, because like we got to wrap this up. But give me your take. What do you think? What's the deal? Because I just saw somebody said 27th of this month, Pokemon Day, 30th anniversary for Pokemon. So what do we say? Speculation Nation. Nobody's gonna hold you to anything. What do we say?
Yeah, if I thought about this the other night too. They're, especially with Vivi potentially most likely going to go public, NASDAQ listing. There's either going to be one of two things that'll happen. Pokemon will get into NFTs at some point, and they're either going to do it on their own or they're going to do it with Vivi, because there's no other place that they would trust. That every other place going out of business. Vivi's been gaining licenses. Everyone else has been losing them and going out. So if they do decide to do it, and why I think they would is because, one, David speaks their native tongue, and in the military you learn, like, if you can speak someone's native tongue, their defenses go down a little bit. They'll just like him more. He's been a collector, he's been successful, he's had this license, and to be able to sell it like at 17, they love his story. But also because if Pokemon tries it and it fails, like Pokemon have made video games before that have failed, that are just like god awful, and it's not a great look. It doesn't matter, they're still Pokemon, but it's not a great look, and they don't like to fail. But if they try it with Vivi and it fails, it's not on them. It's Vivi's failure. But if it's a success, it's a success because of Pokemon. Even though it'll be a success because of both, but it'll be a success because of,
that's a good point.
They'll view it as a win. So they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. And that's why I think they'll go with Pokemon. That's what they'll go with Vivi eventually. If they do that, I'll be live for 24 hours. And I could talk 24 hours probably just about the first Game Boy games, like just for red and
tell.
blue and yellow.
Yeah, I couldn't tell, bro. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and so just from that, and then I could probably have, like, if I could not sleep, I could probably do it for a week straight, and I might even do that. I might do like a 24-hour stream every week or even every month, like for a year, and then just never run out of stuff to talk about.
Let's go. Okay, we back, baby. We back. Marathon streams, baby. Marathon streams. Let's go.
Yeah, I probably spent between 30 and 40,000 hours on Pokemon related stuff throughout my life.
That's why. I mean, that's dedication, bro. Yeah, that is dedication for real. That's real dedication. Randy, good shit, man. I appreciate, bro. I'm sure we could talk. Y'all could talk about this for a million more hours. And Emoji's like, I got more questions. I'm like, Emoji, you have used up your allocation, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. But yo, Emoji, open the space. I'm sure like people want to pop in and maybe kind of continue this conversation. But Randy, wait, can we see Dashi? Oh, we see Dashi in the background. People are asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Nah, Randy, this was cool, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by, bro. It was really, really cool. Really cool to have you here, man. So we appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for the invite. I'm gonna bounce. I will catch y'all later.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Okay.
That's it, guys. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right.
TC loves Eevee. Girls love Eevee. Like if you ask a girl their favorite Pokemon, it's gonna be an Eevee or an Eeveelution.
Okay.
I assume that's why Casey likes them.
I'm taking notes. That's it. Magic. Obi-Wan, anything to add before we go? This is a great
I just gotta say
stream.
that I'm gonna be able to say one day that I was on that stream when both Dave and Magic were both buffering at the same time. Like I'm gonna be able to say that, bro. Like let's go.
I'm closing tabs, being like, oh shit, like, am I really buffering? Like, what's going on?
Your brain was buffering.
Yeah.
Overload. It was overload. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But yeah, it was good. Magic, anything before we go?
Nope. Just thanks again, Randy, for coming on. It was always fun. Always fun.
Thanks, Randy.
And yeah, I just figured you're the right person to have an opinion on this news from last night. So no, I appreciate you being here. That's all for me.
Let's go. All right, kids. That's Magic Hour. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
The Crypto Magic Hour.